Hi, I'm Chrane. YouTube, if you're watching this, I have been playing the Path of Exile 0.3 patch for the past 5 or 6 days. We are at how much playtime? Let's see here. How much playtime / played? 1 day, 19 hours, 38 minutes. And I've been enjoying it quite a bit. When I played Season 2 or 0.2 in Early Access, I kind of finished Act 2 as a Huntress, and then I just didn't have the interest to keep playing. That was like maybe 20 hours of real slow progression. But in 0.1, the start of Early Access, I played for around 600 hours. So I might have been a bit burned out, but also patch 0.2 did not really do anything for me just from the get-go. But now, with 0.3, I'm once again playing a monk. The only class I haven't finished the campaign with is the Huntress. That's the class I played in 0.2. So I've yet to play that one through the entirety of the game. However, what I will say is that the journey through the campaign, now that the cruel difficulty is gone, is so much better. I love it. Cruel really did harm the experience of the game, I think, because about 4 of my friends were playing this game, and it's so unheard of to me that my friends are playing the same type of games that I am. So when that happened, I was like, oh hell yeah. But then whenever they beat Act 3 and they came back to Act 1 to redo it, everyone dropped it. Every single one of them. Some of them didn't even, I think 2 of them didn't even get through Act 3 because you replay the end of it. What, like with the story thing, you beat the water damaged version of the town and then you go back and play it through it when it's looking completely different. So yeah, some of the pacing stuff really hurt this like first impression for a lot of people, I think. But now I feel like we're getting back into the right, into the right motion of where this game needs to be, and I'm having a lot of fun again, which is really nice. It's been a while since I've actually been really interested in the game, so it feels very good to be like actually in it again, even though I've just gotten to maps. I'm mainly a story guy in general, and just when it comes to new games, I'm like, okay, show me what all these cool new armors look like. I need to see all of them. Show me. So I've seen the big things that are gonna impress me. Maps, I'm like, yeah, they're there. I know that's gonna happen later, so that's fine. That's whatever. But in general, I would say that now in 0.3, we are in a much better place than we've been for a long time in the past few months. So just to go through like a few things that I really appreciate about this patch. First of all is the main character interactions from the campaign. Because in Acts 1, 2, and 3, your character usually throws out a funny comment or like an observation when you see things in the game world. Like a big one that stands out is when you get to Act 2 and you see all the people pulling the caravan, and that usually gives you a pretty good idea of what your character, like what the class you're playing is like as a person, how they view the world. Just that one example is it's a pretty good way to like firmly see where they stand on the way they look at people. But in Act 4, they have this fantastic new implementation where the characters are actually partaking in the quest dialogue. So when you're progressing the main story, your character is actually commenting back to the hooded one, to the rest of the team whenever you're speaking to each other. And it feels great. It feels so much more alive. It feels way more satisfying to have a character like, oh, welcome to our town, and then your character is like, you call this a town? Like stuff like that, even though it might seem like such a small thing, adds so much to the entirety of the world building as well as the character of your character that you're playing. Some games like to do it like a blank slate that you are the character, you know, but this game is actually in a very interesting way being like, no, these are the characters. You're playing them, but these are the characters. Which is what usually happens in this genre until like around when Diablo 3 came out, when all the customization started happening. At that point, you could just choose male or female, but then with Diablo 4, it's like, oh, you can customize your character. But with this, it's like, this is the character, this is the character, this is the character. And they're like, they feel like actual people because all of them have unique dialogue, unique personalities, and it all works very well. Like if you go on like the subreddit and you see some clips of the witch and the way she responds to Danig in town, she's thirsting for that man, and it's funny as hell. And the mercenary, which is my personal favorite, I haven't heard all of his lines in Act 4 because I haven't got there with the merc yet, but just his color commentary when you go through Acts 1 through 3, when he meets the like the disgusting, bloated, like matron of whatever in the end of Act 3, like the really disturbing looking one that like she's been in the water for years. And he's like, I've done worse. It's like, okay. So like the personality is all there, and I'm really excited to see especially how the merc acts in Act 4 because of all the way that they're implemented into the actual dialogue of the story now. And I hope they go back. Please, GGG, go back. Now that you're doing this, go back and do this in Acts 1, 2, and 3. Please. Because Act 1 is almost perfect, in my opinion. I love Act 1. Changed the way the werewolves look, but otherwise, I love Act 1. They look like giant quillboars. Please don't make the werewolf form look like that, please. That's my only complaint about Act 1. Act 1 is great. Add commentary from the characters into Act 1, and it's gonna be a 10 out of 10 easily. Act 2 is also pretty damn good, but it like something is missing in the connective tissue of the storytelling where it's like, okay, now we're going there, now we're going there, and there, and there, and it feels like you're a bit all over the place, kind of like I am usually when I'm talking for too long. And then you go to Act 3 and it just feels very slow, very long, a lot of areas, not a lot of connective tissue to why you're going to places, why you're doing things. The only thing leading you in Act 3 is kind of an occasional Alva appearance, and then also your character being like, more woods, and then keep moving along. And I feel like if they had some back and forth in the town with the NPCs, you know, it could feel a bit more connected in that way. And maybe even have more like color commentary when you're moving around in the world, because that stuff is usually very memorable and a lot of fun. But yes, the main character interactions in the dialogues, beautiful. I love it. Please keep doing it. Add it both before and after Act 4. Great. Speaking of Act 4, I love Act 4. It's probably, this is probably recency bias, just being real, but it genuinely feels so different going from Act 3 to Act 4. Because Act 3 is just like Act 3 in Diablo 2, that even though I absolutely love and adore Diablo 2, I cannot stand Act 3 in that game. And I also don't like Act 3 in this game. The difference is that Act 3 in this game is like 12 times as long as Act 3 in Diablo 2. And it doesn't feel great in my opinion. But Act 4 is so fun because you go to all these different islands. So many different places, all have different looking environments, unique bosses, and so much good, well-written commentary from the characters around you when you go to these different places, and it just feels nice. It just feels fun. Like the way the prison looks when you have the water coming in, and I'm fully like prepared for that to be annoying in future playthroughs, but like the way they built that place is so clever and so cool that I think I'm going to be okay with replaying that and being annoyed with the water coming in, because at its core, it's a really uniquely well-designed area, and I just really love it. And then meanwhile, you have the Isle of Kin, which is like from the Druid reveal trailer years ago, where you're on this like sulfuric, like cracked earth on a giant beach on like a real dry island, and it's so different from the prison. And then you have jungles on other islands, and it feels so varied and so cool, and I just really appreciate that. Along with all the bosses. The boss fights were great as well. The pacing was also very good, because you feel like you have certain stop and go every time you hit an island, and then when you're done, it's very like clear about everything, so it feels very well paced out and makes a lot of sense the way it plays out, and I really appreciate that. Trade system. We have a new trade system. Manage shop. You can put your things in here. You can't use the quad tabs right now. I hope they change that in the future, but I can see why they wouldn't. But yeah, this system, great. You have an earnings remove only tab where your sales like payout ends up. So you can just post items in here and they go up for sale, and anyone can buy them on the website or even in-game. Like, this is built in now. You don't even have to go to the website to do it. It's great. The only thing I wish this did is that when I click, sometimes when I load into a new area or I click escape, the list just resets. Everything is gone. I wish that would be a little different. That's, you know, that's my big criticism of this system. Like, please make a system where I can like save presets or something in a tab up here, where I could have like a folder of like gloves, boots, helmet, and like have my set amount of affixes that I'm looking for. And also, if I'm picking an item category, like, okay, I guess we're getting claws. I've been wondering that for a while. Okay, but if I pick helmets as a category, here down in filters, I feel like it should only display affixes that can spawn on helmets. I feel like it doesn't. I feel like it shows everything. Like lightning damage to attacks, I don't think you can get that on a helmet. Add cold damage, attack speed, I don't think you can get these things on a helmet. There may be unique cases with like actual unique items where that can spawn. But like, at that point you should probably have to click unique for them to show up. That, like, something like that. That's how I feel about it anyway. That might be an outlier opinion, but that's kind of how I feel, because I feel like that kind of blocks. It's a kind of blocking an entry level for new people to find stuff. If it's really difficult to browse this. So maybe, I don't know, add an option in the game to like toggle that if people want that, something like that. Another option is always good, you know. An options menu can't have too many buttons. But in general, love the new trade system. I can just log out and people can go to my town, browsing. When they're browsing items, they can go to my hideout and just buy the stuff I have put up at the vendor. It's a great system. Love it. And the other day I had a situation, I think it was yesterday. I went on the trade sites to buy a jewel, I think, and they didn't have it posted in their shop. They had it posted in like an old tab like this, so I had to whisper them to get the item. And guess what? They didn't respond. Neither did the next guy after that. Didn't respond either. So that wasn't really fun. That was not fun at all. But this new, I think they call it asynchronous trading system, where you can be offline and people can go in and trade your stuff. You know, it's such a good idea. Love it. Another great thing they added in this patch, in my opinion, is that you can now do multiple of supports. You can have a support in multiple skills at the same time. So I have Magnified Area 2 in here, and I also have Magnified Area 2 in Wind Dancer. And This opens up so many things, so many builds. Now, I happen to be running a one-button build because I'm a simple man. I like clicking one button and have my screen explode. At least in this game. There are some other games in this genre where I don't enjoy that type of gameplay, but in this game specifically, since it's filled with so many dangerous enemies, I prefer them all to blow up at the same time without me having to click more buttons. So I love that they have the intent and direction of allowing this for multiple of the same support in different skills. I love that, but I also am very glad that I can still do a one-button build and it works. So please don't take that away from me. It's just an option at this point for people to play like this. It's not the mandatory way to play it, but just let me keep what I have here, okay? Please. Please, GGG. Next is... let's see, Essence System. Yes. The Essence System is a great change. I know this is not new to this patch, but I barely played 0.2, so I haven't really interacted with this stuff. And I think this is great. Basically, the entire Essence System is now just a bunch of Regal Orbs with specific direction, where they turn into very specific things. And I think it's great. I don't really have that much more to say about it. I just think that this is a great way to open up crafting. Make it easy, like more accessible to everyone, which is really good. And now I just wish that we could spawn more essences everywhere. Give me more essences. And I'm gonna come back to that real soon when I get to my critiques. Abyssal crafting is also a new thing. We have the Abyss stuff. I'm assuming it's gonna stick around because this thing is already implemented into the Essence window. These things don't have their own home though, so they're just sitting in my currency window right now. But the Abyss crafting, really good. I'm really enjoying it. It gives a much more deterministic style of crafting and direction with your items, and I think so far, even though I have a lot to learn about the system still, I'm really excited about how it opens up a bunch of stuff and gives more control in the hands of the players. I think it's going to be really good when it's when I've had a bit more time to get familiar with it. But so far, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Some critiques. Here's one. When I have an item in my inventory, I want to be able to control and left click to drop this thing on the ground. I cannot. I want to be able to do that. Please fix that. I also want to be able to right click it to equip it. Can't do that either. I have to drag. I have to drag it. Now, lucky for you, I'm using Hollow Palm? Hollow, right? Hollow Palm, yeah. So I don't need an item here. You're lucky. Otherwise, I'd be real sad. Wells still feel redundant. I don't understand the point of wells. When you're in a map, whenever you get to a checkpoint, the game is like, yo, you got to a checkpoint. Here's refilling of your flasks. How is going back to town not a checkpoint? I don't need to click the checkpoint in the map to have my flask refilled, so why do I have to go back to town and then click the well for it to refill? Why isn't going to town a checkpoint in and of itself? I don't understand that. It's, in my opinion, wells are completely redundant. I don't think they need to be here. Like, I really appreciate the idea of wells. I just feel like they're an extra step for something that doesn't need more steps. I don't think they need to be in the game. That's just, I think they're just there to be because they feel, to some people, they feel immersive to have a well to refill your potions. Meanwhile, in the map, I have 6 checkpoints. And they're all like, yo, you're close to me. Here's some magic water I threw 30 feet to you. I'm like, okay, thanks. I feel like they can be removed. I don't know if that's a hot take. That's just how I feel. Okay. Last point is the Atlas. So I don't know if I have the Atlas yet. I do. I have access to it. Okay. So the Atlas tree. I'm not even that big of a Path of Exile 2 fan. Like, I really like the game, don't get me wrong, but I haven't put thousands of hours into it. It took me like 8 tries to actually get through the first act over like, what, 10 years to finally get through it. And then it has a better Atlas skill system. The Atlas skill tree in PoE 1 is so good because it allows the player to customize their experience. Meanwhile, in this game, like, why do I care about increased quantity of waystones? Increased effect of precursor tablets. This is interesting though, because that actually affects gameplay. Chance to contain rogue exiles. We have that stuff over here. Pack size. I'm liking this. More essences. This is good as merry spirits. Okay, so I like these little clusters. But all these, like, waystones, magic monsters, magic pack size, a strong box, I guess that's gameplay, shrines, waystones, like, it. So much of this central part of the Atlas tree is so uninteresting to me that I'm like, I hope they remake this in some meaningful way, because these things on the outside here are really interesting. Maybe not that one, but like the rogue exiles, the essences, the Asmeri spirits, like those clusters are fun. Everything else, it's you're just stat stacking at that point for like increased chance to get a new map, and it's like, oh yay. So much fun. Meanwhile, in PoE 1, the entire tree is customizing what you want to see pop up in the maps. And I feel like that's just a way better system. And I know I'm not the first one to harp on about this. That's for damn sure. But it is where I'm at with the Atlas tree. I think it doesn't translate well into what we see in here. Like, when I do stuff in the Atlas tree, I don't see any reaction to it in the world I'm exploring here. None. Nothing. And I wish that it did. I wish there was some translation over from the tree into the map that actually made it feel like it was affecting stuff. Like, to use industry lingo, there is no synergy between the tree and the map, and I wish there was. It should have more influence over the journey, basically. And the map, I feel like it should have something, like it's missing something. Because exploring doesn't really feel that rewarding. Because you find a good place, they're like, okay, this is where I need to pour all my energy into and get this thing the best it can be. And then everything else be damned. This is where I'm grinding, around this node. If I can get 2 towers there, whoa, like it doesn't feel rewarding in that way, in the way that I wish that it was. Now, when I'm looking at this, what I have here, I'm like, okay, what is this? Like, this blood effect, this is cool. Because since I didn't play Season 2, I don't know if this is something that was added in Season 2, or if it was in this patch. No clue, but when I see this, I'm excited to explore it. And sometimes you had the beams from the boss areas that dropped. There's another one here. The boss areas that dropped the tablets to do the big fight against the Arbiter of Ash, I think is the name. And that was cool. That was a fun thing to chase. So they've worked on improving all this stuff, but there's still something just missing. And luckily I'm not a game designer. And I also don't have an answer for what is missing. I just feel that something is not here where it needs to be, basically. But in general, I have very positive opinions of the game right now, and we're moving in the right direction. I think they've actually confirmed that we're getting the Druid in the next patch, 0.4. And if you've watched any of my stuff before, you know that the Druid is the thing that sold me on this game. It's why I picked up Path of Exile 1 to understand this game, because there's gonna be a cool looking Druid in a modern ARPG, and I just love everything I've seen about it. Everything about the way the Druid looks is awesome. I just hope he doesn't look like one of those quill rats from Act 1, because that's what the werewolves look like in Act 1, and I just, please, pick something else. Pick another design, please. Don't make me look like that. And also please make me able to turn into one of those like were-pigs from Act 3. Those are dope. Like the big hulking pigs walking around with around the ant areas at the beginning of Act 3. Please make that a form, that'd be dope. And then I heard that they said, I've read the quote, I haven't actually seen where they said this, but there was apparently a quote where they said that they can't launch the game without swords. And that means Gladiator, formerly known as Duelist. So that's two of my top 3 classes that I'm excited for. The third being Templar. Marauder and Assassin, can take it or leave it, it's whatever. But, you know, Marauder has access, so that's also probably going to be very high on their list of priorities, probably above Templar. But Druid is confirmed to be coming. Gladiator most likely following that. Now we'll see with the other ones. They've also toyed with the idea of launching before all the classes are done, so we'll see what they actually end up doing. But in general, I'm feeling very positive about the game right now. I feel like they're going in the right direction. I feel like I need to wrap this up because I need to go to work. So, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. And to both the audience watching live and the people watching the video on YouTube at, well, in a few days, most likely. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.